why it's different. Anyway, we'll be having it for the rest of the month until pumpkin season is over.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Creole Brew. Big hand for them. Who here likes Creole Brew? Yay! Yeah. Awesome. I think that's how me and my co-founder got roped into this, is because they had Creole Brew, and my co-founder goes, we've got to go to 1 million cups. They've got Creole Brew, and it's awesome. And obviously the networking and talking to all you guys, this is great. So, I'm McKay Crookson. I'm with Giveit, and some of you may have heard of us, some of you may not. We presented here about 7 months ago. We're here to give an update and also to solicit for some votes, and I'll get to that in a minute. But before we get into that, I am really excited to talk about something really quickly about a fantastic opportunity that I would like each and every one of you to really consider participating in, and it's to help the children of Utah learn how to read. So Beehive Startups does an annual book drive called Startup Santa, and we partnered with them this year to help make donating even easier, to help the lives of children in poverty here in Utah, and we're doing some amazing things. If you don't know anything about it, or if you do, or if your company's not signed up, or you want to get signed up, go to startupsanta.org, please check it out, get signed up, and let's make a difference in the lives of children here in Utah, please. So, I came across this a couple weeks ago. Someone tagged me in it, and oh my gosh, who here can relate to this? My wife, right? So this, I love it because this is who we are. This is what we do. We fix this problem for you guys, and we make it incredibly easy. So some of you guys may not realize is that each and every one of you right now, the clothes you're wearing, the clothes that are in your closets, that are in your home, 85% of it is going to end up in the landfill. And that might surprise you, but that roughly equates to 25 billion pounds that we, as basically lazy Americans, send to the landfill every single year. And we're on a trajectory to hit 35 billion pounds by 2019. So, I think this is wrong. I don't agree with this. I think there's a problem with this. When there are millions of people throughout the world that would love to get their hands on this clothing we otherwise throw away. And that's what we do at Giveit. We make getting those bags that are sitting in your trunk into the hands of people in need incredibly convenient. Like I mentioned, there are millions of people throughout the world who would love to get their hands on this stuff. And we make it incredibly convenient to take those clothes that you're throwing away and get them into the hands of people in need. And we make it so easy, it takes 10 seconds to get rid of it. You don't have to put it in the trunk of your car. You don't have to let it sit in the trunk of your car for 4 months. You don't have to even take it out to the curb. You don't have to do anything. All you do is you use our app, takes 10 seconds, and we come and get it same day off your porch. And then you can rest easy and share with your friends and let them know that you are helping people in need with stuff that you would otherwise throw away. Like I mentioned, we come get it right off your porch. And I want to just show you how quickly you can use it. You just select the category, take a picture of the bag, confirm the address, and you're done. It's now scheduled, and we come pick it up and get it to someone in need. Pretty exciting, right? You like that? Couple hands? Yeah? Yeah, there we go. A few applauses. So that's what we do. Some of you might be wondering, well, how do you make money on this? Like, you're going out, picking stuff up. So what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these thrift industries and companies that are going out and collecting and that you're donating to, they take them and they bale them up to these big bales like this that you see here. And roughly 80% of everything that's donated gets baled up like this and shipped to the model that we are using. And that's how we generate revenue. So like I mentioned, we came present about 7 months ago. We launched earlier this year, and we're really excited about the growth and the traction and some of the pivots we've made that have got us these results. We have over 1,500 users. We have had over 800 donations submitted to us, and that equates roughly to about 25,000 pounds that we've helped divert from landfills and get into the hands of people in need. We're super excited about that, guys. This is really fun and amazing stuff. And for those of you, who knows what an NPS score is? A few of you, if you have a product and you don't know what an NPS score is, please learn what the NPS score is. Very important. But we've got that up over 80 now, and we're really excited about that. And there's a few testimonials here. What people are saying about Giveit. I love this one. This is my favorite one. Using Giveit is easier than throwing it away. It's so true. And it's helping people in need. I love that. I love that. That is so core to our mission about what we're doing. So, I want to open up to Q&A now. Yeah.
Do these go directly, like do you work directly through thrift stores, or are you guys your own particular entity?
Yes, we are our own entity. That is correct.
Okay, so it's not like we pick it up and it goes to Savers, it goes directly to people in need.
That's correct.
That's really
Thank you.
Yeah, so is there a difference then? Do you guys give, since you're a for-profit, I presume,
That's
you
correct.
don't give a donation receipt that you can write off on your taxes, or do you still get one of those?
Right. That's a great question. It's one we get asked all the time, and the answer is not yet. There's some legalities that we're working on, but ultimately what we are hoping and what we're striving to get to is to actually allow you to choose any nonprofit that you want it to benefit. And that's something that's really kind of magical about this, and we're working to get to that point.
Follow-up question on that then. If you get to choose who's benefiting, how do they benefit? Do you give the clothes or whatever then to that charity, or do you give them some money after you sell them?
Yeah, so let me answer that by telling you a quick little example of who here is familiar with Savers? About most of the room, half the room. So when you donate to Savers, you are not actually donating to Savers. Savers is a for-profit company. They just sold a couple years ago for almost $2 billion. And what happens is they work with local community partners. So if you go donate to here in Orem, you'll see a big sign on the side of the building that says Donation Center, Community Donation Center for Friends of MS. And so when you donate to Savers, you're actually donating to Friends of MS. Savers then collects that for Friends of MS, and they buy it from them, and that is how Friends of MS benefits. And so we are basically using that same model, where you will donate it to the charity of your choice, whether it's your PTA, whether it's your school, whether it's your church, whatever nonprofit you want, and then we facilitate all the logistics. They benefit, we take it and sell it off and get it to people in need.
And so you get the tax donation receipt from that?
Yes.
particular-
Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
So, and that is where we are working. We are working to get there. We are not there yet. There's a lot of legalities there that we're working through. We know it's possible. There's just a lot of red tape. Other questions?
So are you making the bundles of the clothes yourself, or are you having someone else do that for you?
Yeah, right now we're working with a third-party partner to bundle that up. Eventually we will do that ourselves.
Okay. And I guess a follow-up with that, are you profitable yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I was curious about Tabitha's Way. You know what Tabitha's Way is?
Yes.
So they have collection sites, right? And I understand they do textile recycling. So they're basically, I don't know, tearing it up and putting it inside teddy bears or something. I'm curious if you guys are competing businesses basically, or do you guys do textile recycling, or how does that all work?
Yeah, so let me answer that really quickly. Again, explain a little bit about the industry that a lot of people don't realize is what Tabitha's Way is doing is they are doing some recycling and they're also doing some donating. So when they get these baled up in these big bales that they ship out to these developing countries, those developing countries grab that stuff and they sort it. And they do it in these third world countries because it's cheaper and more affordable to sort it there. When it's there, they take the stuff, and if it's rags, unusable stuff, they shred it up and they recycle it. If it's usable, then they put it in a different bin and it gets sold. So Tabitha's Way is doing the same way. This is how the entire industry works. We're doing the same thing. So whether it's a used pair of underwear or a sock with holes in it or a pair of pants with holes in it, donate it anyway because it will get used and reappropriated as appropriate, whether that's recycled or reused as a pair of pants. Did that answer your question?
Quick follow-up.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper to ship it across the ocean, cheap enough that we still sell it to ship it across the ocean.
Yeah. So another interesting fact, I love facts. You've seen these big, huge cargo containers, the big 40-foot ones. They hold roughly 40,000 pounds of textiles. There are roughly 500 of those leaving U.S. ports every day to developing countries. So,
And that's only like 15% of the clothes, right?
yes, that is correct. And that only represents about 15% of the clothing that we're purchasing in the U.S. every year. There's still 85% that we are throwing away, ending up in landfills.
So obviously your competitors in these, third world countries, but like Tom's has come under fire for, we'll give shoes, things like that. Are these like clothing sales, are they hurting local markets in these third world countries?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. That's a great question. So let me first say, our number one competitor is the trash can. Okay? 85%, 25 billion pounds is going to landfills. Okay? So only 15% of the market is consumed up with the thrift industry right now. So to answer your question, there's some question about, okay, if we take this stuff and we send it to these developing countries, is it hurting their economy? Is that the question? So in some cases it is, yeah, because it's hurting the thrift. But you got to look a little bit deeper into it, and it's a very complicated issue. What we do and what we're striving to do is make sure that we're responsibly sending it to the countries where it is not hurting and where it's able to do the most good.
A comment on that real quick.
Yeah.
So if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, the manager for our organization in Uganda was here.
Right.
She went to DI and went to town because in Uganda, buying used shoes is more expensive than buying their local shoes because they fall apart. Like they would rather have used shoes that have come in through this portal that you're talking about. That's what they're seeking after, used stuff. That's more desirable to them than stuff they can get like that's really plasticky, fall apart from China.
Right,
Because
exactly.
they're not usually producing a lot of shoes there. They're getting it from China, that's fall apart stuff, or they used to stuff from abroad. So she was super stoked. She went home with I think 40 pairs of shoes for all of her family.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So a lot of these developing countries, they purchase this stuff new from China, but the quality is so poor and it's so bad that, yeah, they would rather have used stuff from the United States because the quality is higher.
First off, gotta say it. You know I'm a fan. We've
Thank you.
before, so this is obviously needed. I've got a question in regards to now that I kind of know a little more about some numbers that you're working with.
Yeah.
Of that 85% of the waste that you see, what do you think is realistically addressable, and what does that mean for you guys in terms of reaching profitability? What percentage of that do you need to reach before you're profitable and you can sustain operations?
Right. So great question. To get to that point, we need less than 1% of that to start reaching profitability. Very little. But I think realistically, what we have found time and time again is the number one barrier to getting people to donate is make it easier to throw it away. And we have done that. You don't have to put it in the trunk. You don't have to put it in your garbage can. You've got it bagged up already. You put it on your porch. You hit done, and we come and get it.
Hi, so great idea. Making it easier is perfect. Reducing just a bit of pain, that's all it takes. But what is your marketing and advertising strategy? How are you getting people to know about this?
So right now, our number one method is word of mouth. We've had more customers learn about it through people sharing it. We, to date, so all these numbers that I showed you, the growth that we've experienced, that comes primarily from word of mouth. We've had no real marketing efforts, primarily because that's one of our weaknesses, is we don't have a real strong marketing team. I'm the marketing team, and that's a problem. So if anyone here is like a super awesome marketer that would love to come and talk with me and give us some pointers and advice, we would love that. But we don't have any real strategy yet.
Kind of to follow up on that suggestion, some people donate because they want to feel good inside. Some people donate because they want to appear good.
Yeah.
Something that you possibly could do is to hook people's Twitter or Facebook accounts, and when they donate, they're already taking a picture, automatically post and say, I just donated stuff, hooray, look at me, right?
Who here would like that? Who We got a few people. So basically, who here would like it that when you donate, it automatically posts to your Facebook or Twitter and says, look at me, I did something good in the world. I am helping people in need instead of throwing it and adding to the problem.
Optional. I think I'd want to opt in.
Make it optional?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Greg.
Do you want to talk about like the shift to textile focus? Is that like a thing you'll start and then scale, or is this like, it seems like the business is big enough to do straight textile, but yeah.
Oh, now here's a businessman. He wants to know where we're going in the future. So great question. The question is, are we just doing textiles? So we started out doing like everything against all the advice and what we learned through John, through Startup Ignition, like nail, hyper-focus. We, for some reason, didn't. And so we recently have scaled back to doing just textiles and small household goods. Basically, if it fits in a garbage bag, we'll take it away. But there's a huge opportunity here because going back to some numbers, 65% of everything that ends up in our landfills here in the US is reusable and recyclable in the condition it is when it gets thrown away. And we see this is a huge opportunity to do that. And we are starting with textiles and small household goods, and we're going to expand into other areas to make getting rid of that couch, getting rid of that bed, getting rid of all those things that we throw away because it's convenient, and do something good and responsible with it without causing, not just without causing more friction, but reducing the friction it takes to do that.
I know the question in my home is a condition question, and I think changing that perception of, does it have to be in a certain condition to donate?
Yeah. So,
be smart.
Yeah, so who here grew up here in Utah County? Okay, I grew up being told that the local thrift store only wants good, quality stuff. And so I think there's this stigma in our minds going, oh, it has to be good quality for us to donate, and if it's not, then we better throw it away. That is false. As I mentioned before, what happens is they bundle this stuff up, it gets sent to a sorting facility, and there at the sorting facility they go, okay, this is a rag. And they put it in, they shred it, and then it gets used for stuffing and filling or insulation. The truth is 95% of textiles are recyclable.
So I might have my numbers wrong, but based on what you were talking about the total pounds of items that are thrown away and the percentage that you need to become profitable, you're looking at like 3,000% growth in order to hit that number. I might be completely wrong on that, but I guess just looking forward to the marketing questions that were asked before, what are the soon to happen goals as far as really growing? Because right now seems like you're pretty local.
That's correct.
What are you trying to do to hit national or international growth in order to hit those numbers?
So, as I mentioned, we launched here along the Wasatch Front earlier this year. We've been really focused on nailing the model here. What we anticipate seeing is, so right now, there are roughly about 2,000 donations that occur daily in Utah County. 2,000. That's correct, in general, to DI, to Savers, to Tabitha's Way, Friends of MS, Big Brothers Big Sisters, all these people that are collecting donations, whether that's pickup or drop off. There's about 2,000 in Utah County. If we can get 10% of that market here in Utah County, we will be easily profitable.
Which equates to about 40,000 users. So it's actually, as far as like small scale, it's more achievable to get profitable sooner rather than later than large scale, which is what he's talking about with the 1%, if that makes sense. I can talk to you more about it after too.
Yeah, Brian's really good at this stuff. Brian's part of the team, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask us.
Are you limited to just in town pickup, or do you do like outskirts of the county?
Yeah, so pretty much the rule of thumb is if it's anywhere along the Wasatch Front, from Santaquin-ish up to Ogden-ish. And that's kind of what we're doing. So we're not in Heber, Park City yet. We're working on that. And we're also working on a program we're pretty excited. It's not quite as convenient, but it's still far more convenient than anything else to help us open up nationally, literally overnight. And we're working on the details of that and really excited about how that's coming along.
You're probably going to get to this at some point, but I am really interested in the 1 in a million competition and how that's been going and how we can help you guys.
Yeah, so I was waiting for the what can we do as a 1 Million Cups community to support you guys. That was, I had a slide ready for that. If that's what is it time?
Let's do it.
We've got time, but tell us about even your experience of how it's been. So you may all be familiar. Tell us about the competition.
Yeah, so I don't know. I never set out to be involved in a lot of these competitions, but we've been involved in several competitions. We've won place in the top 50 in the U.S. for a big TechCo conference that they did a couple weeks ago. It's a TechCo and CES conference competition that they held out in San Jose a couple weeks ago. And we made the top 50, and we're pretty proud about that. We've done some stuff at the Founders Weekend down in St. George. We've been involved in a lot of competitions, and we never really set out to be like these entrepreneurs that are out doing the competitions. I think it was just more by the suggestion of some of our advisors saying, hey, you should try something. Like, okay. So we try, and then we find out people really love this idea. And who here is familiar with 1 in a million? The 1 in a million competition? A couple people. So it's 1 Million Cups that puts it on, and there were about 300 submissions for this competition, and we made it into the top 40 in the US. And it was based on votes. We had to submit a video about what we're doing and how we're changing the world, and we made it into the top 40. And then we got a bunch of you guys to vote for us and help us out. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Could not have done it without you. And then we made it into the top 15. And then we had to resubmit another video, and we just submitted it, and voting just opened up. And we are looking for help to make it to the next round, to the top 5. This is the final time that you as a community get to help us win. Now, one thing that I want to really emphasize and make a point of here is that of all the companies that are left, the top 15, we are the only company in Utah that has made it this far. And so we have a wonderful opportunity as a 1 Million Cups community to go online and vote and show the world how awesome of a startup scene exists here in Utah, specifically Provo, because we're based out of the Provo 1 Million Cups, and we're really proud to be representing each and every one of you and showing the world how awesome we are and what we're doing and that we're changing the world. So what my big ask from you guys today is to open up your phones right now, pull up your phones, and go right here to vote.giveitdonation.com, and that will redirect you directly to the voting page for 1 Million Cups. And there was quite a bit of, in the previous round, there's a lot of cheating. There are a lot of software engineers that had submitted their apps, and there was some cheating going on, so they made it so you have to log in through the 1 Million Cups website. So I know it's a little bit of an ask, but I know you guys will do it because you're awesome and you want to see us represent Utah. So it just takes a second to log in. If you don't have a 1 Million Cups login yet, register because you want one so you can stay up to date on what we're doing here. And then vote for us. And then after that, please share on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, anywhere that you have a social media account, share and say, come on guys, let's vote, let's get this company to the top.
How long before you guys are going to be expanded beyond the Wasatch Front? I'm from Austin, and I'd love to do this in Austin.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have, for same-day pickup, we're probably, best case, several months out. But for this other option that we're working on, it could be within a week or two. So, but I can't say too much about it because we're still ironing out some pretty exciting details.
Awesome. We'll push this out on all of our social media as well.
Thank
for
you.
those that didn't attend today.
Yeah, and if we have, is the Big Door here? I didn't see Big Door here today. I don't think they're here today. But if you have big social media platforms, please push it out. Let's get this voting. Let's represent Utah. I truly could not have done Giveit and gotten it to where we are today without the help of each and every single one of you and the community that you are a part of and this world that we are creating. I love it, and I'm so grateful for all your help. Thank you.
All right. Since we didn't get to ask like a regular end question,
Yeah.
we'll end with where'd you get your coat?
So, thank you. I get a lot of, we have an internal debate. I mentioned, boy, I get a lot of compliments on this jacket, and one of my, Brian here, he goes, no, you get a lot of comments. I said, no, I'm pretty sure they're compliments. And so ever since then, we have had this little debate, and I've been keeping tally, and so far to date, I have had 0 comments and 100% compliments. So I need to know, was that a compliment or a comment?
It was definitely a compliment.
Okay, thank you. So I don't know how many Brian has tracked, but I think he's given up. He's rolling his eyes at me. So I got this at the Men's Warehouse up at the outlet center. They were having their store closing sale. And this wasn't on the clearance rack, it was on the clearance rack. It's like, and I actually regret, because they had like 4 or 5 of them, I'm regretting not buying more of them, because it was like, buy 1, get 3 free, or something like that. And I'm like, man, I should have gotten a few more. I do get a lot of compliments on it. Thank you.
Right on. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. See you next week.